Now, you may be confused with all the alphabet soup. Two of the alphabet soups are LMS.
We are going to the moon.
To the moon!
And do the other things.
Not because they're easy.
But because they are hard.
Oh, wait, which colors are we writing with?
These ones. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay. LMS versus LXP. Acciones. LMS versus LXP. Today we are going to go through the 4 things that an LMS does and the 3 additional things that an LXP does. What you will really learn is an LXP is a more advanced LMS.
We are e-learning partners,
There's 2 of
and
us.
this whole channel is to partner with you to simplify e-learning for you, to help you with the most important part of your e-learning program and online course, your learners.
Which is why we created this free masterclass right below the video. Check out that link, sign up for free, instant access to help you define who your learners are. And then we're going to give you a step-by-step process of how to build your e-learning program or online course or virtual training so that you know exactly what to do. And then we're actually going to complete the first 2 steps with you because, as you know, the hardest part is to start. That's what our clients have been telling us for years is, God, I have this idea, but I just don't know where to start. That's why we created the masterclass. It's really us giving back to you so that you can focus on your learning. So LMS versus LXP. The 4 things that an LMS does, okay? We're gonna go through those, then we're gonna talk about how the LXP does the same 4 things, and then 3 additional things. So the first thing an LMS does is it hosts your course. What does that mean? That means if you build your course in one of these fancy authoring tools, like what, Hector?
Like Rise or Adobe Captivate.
Yeah, so if you use one of those, or if you use a native authoring tool in an LMS like what, Hector?
Kajabi.
Or Talent LMS, Talent Cards,
Or
etc.
Kartra.
Either way, the LMS component has to host the course. So if you build something in Captivate, you actually have to take that SCORM file. We have a video all about SCORM and XAPI/TinCan. Check that out over here. But basically, you need an LMS to host. An LMS and an LXP both do that. So I will write that over here as well, team. So number 1, hosts, okay? Pretty simple. Number 2 is what, Hector?
LMS is sequence, ladies and gentlemen.
And guess what? LXPs do that too. They sequence. What does that mean? That means that you take your course, so let's say that you have a bunch of modules, or a bunch of milestones, or a bunch of units, or a bunch of trails. We actually have a video all about the semantics, I don't think I'm even saying that right, of e-learning. Check that out. We actually have a whole video about learning objectives. Check that out. We got a lot of things for you to check out. But basically, if you have these things, these modules, and you want to sequence it, which means put them in order and deliver them to your learners, you need an LMS. And that brings us to number 3, which is actually deliver. Deliver, they both do it. Hector spelled it right, I did not. There we go, deliver, so you want to deliver the content. And then number 4 is what, Hector? This is probably the most important part of the LMS.
This is the most important part. We hear this all the time, which is what an LMS and an LXP allows you to do, which is collect data. Collecting data is absolutely critical, not just for you and your company, but more importantly for your learner to understand where your learner's engaging the most, where are they not engaging the most. It's allowing for you to understand, how do I better this training? What questions can I ask my learners? What probing questions can I ask my learners to keep making this training better?
So that's where the LMS stops, and that's where the LXP begins. So number 5 for the LXP is it has a user experience like social media. So what does this mean? This means that when your learner is in your LXP, they're not only going to have these things, they're also going to be able to interact with one another, share things with one another, post comments, like things.
There's a community aspect to it.
Exactly, that's what I was looking for, community aspect. So that is the 5th thing. The 6th thing that an LXP does is user generated content. So while an LMS focuses on delivering content, that is built by you, right? So if you're building your program, your e-learning program, you're building that content, then you're delivering it to your learners. That's what an LMS does. You build it, you deliver it, that's it. An LXP does that, right? So you build it and deliver it, but your users also can build and deliver, so they can share different things that they're using. Like think about like TikTok or Instagram, right? You can share things, right? You like something, you share it. YouTube Shorts, right? We love YouTube. YouTube is the best. You can share YouTube content with one another. It's user-generated content. And you can create content and share it with your peers. That's what an LXP allows you to do. And number 7 is it is personalized for you, or personalized experience. And really, what this means is that, Hector, what happens when you open up your Netflix account?
When you open up your Netflix account, you see content that Netflix recommends for you. Because they get to know you as a user at Netflix, they start pushing content towards you that they believe that you will like. You may also remember Netflix, it says recommended for you. Where do they get that? The personalized experience. It allows you to create an even more personal experience for the most important part of your e-learning, which is what, Johnny?
Your learners. Now, if you want to learn more about LMSs and if you need an LMS and really what the most important components of an LMS are so that you can look into alternatives, we actually have a video called LMS Alternatives. Go check that out and we'll see you there.